Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, April 29th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for today from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. After much debate and research, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has confirmed that the ancient skeleton known as Kennewick Man is related to modern Native American tribes, opening the process for returning to tribes for burial, one of the oldest and most complete set of bones ever found in North America. The Northwestern Division of the Corps says its decision was based on a review of new information, particularly recently published DNA and skeletal analysis. The Corps, which has custody of the remains, said the skeleton is now covered by the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. The 8,500-year-old remains were discovered in 1996 in southeastern Washington near the Columbia River in Kennewick, triggering a lengthy legal fight between the tribes and scientists over whether the bones should be buried immediately or studied. The bones will remain at the Burke Museum in Seattle until the Corps determines which tribe or tribes will receive them. The next step for the interested tribes to submit a claim to acquire the skeleton for burial. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has awarded a $189,983 grant to the Indigenous Food and Agricultural Initiative based in the University of Arkansas School of Law to study the link between tribal food policy and the community health. The study will analyze the effects of tribal food policy on community health, diet, and food access in tribal communities. Data compiled in the study will be available for tribal governments to use in guiding future food policy decisions. Researchers will study how tribal communities use food sovereignty assessments and analyze current and historic food systems to determine the effectiveness of federal feeding programs and local tribal laws and policy in reducing food insecurity and improving food systems and health in tribal communities. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has committed to helping all Americans with an equal opportunity to pursue a healthier life. Funding is directed toward issues that include child and family well-being, the improvement of health coverage and health care systems, and the promotion of healthy communities and healthy weight among children. Native American tribes will protect bats from logging and place sturgeon in school aquariums as part of a recent round of federal grants. The Tribal Wildlife Grant Program was established by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in 2003. More than $68 million has gone to tribes since then. This year, $5 million was awarded to 29 tribes, 3 from the Great Lakes region. In Wisconsin, the money will be used to identify where bats live and help protect those areas. In Minnesota, it will help increase the number of Red Lake sturgeon and teach children about the fish to get them interested in conservation. In Michigan, the Saginaw Chippewa tribe is receiving funding to determine what plants and wildlife live in the area and how to protect important species. The grants are designed to build the capacity of tribes to conserve fish and wildlife and to help them conduct studies. A new act sponsored by Senator Brian Schatz, unanimously approved in the Senate, plans to improve and grow tourism in Native communities. It's called the Native American Tourism and Improving Visitor Experience, or NATIVE Act. Growing Native tourism will expand opportunities across the country where communities like Native Hawaiians, Native Alaskans, and American Indians have culture and history unique to America. A Haskell Indian Nations University graduate who prominently took on the name of the Washington Redskins pro football team will be the keynote speaker at this year's Haskell commencement. Amanda Blackhorse, a member of the Navajo Nation, along with 4 other American Indians, filed the lawsuit that led to the June 2014 decision of the United States Patent and Trademarks Office Trademark Trial and Appeal Board to cancel the NFL team's trademark registration, calling it disparaging to American Indians. In the past year, Blackhorse co-founded the group Arizona to Rally Against Native Mascots. The group describes its mission as advocating for the elimination of Native American mascots and logos in schools and professional sports, including the Kansas City Chiefs. She also speaks nationally about how colonization and historical trauma contributed to such mascots. Haskell commencement is planned for 10 a.m. to noon, May 6th, on the Haskell campus. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.